Welcome to the Cross Canada Spotlight. I'm Mike Arsenault. Every week we take a look at some of the most interesting and entertaining stories produced across the global news network. With mask mandates being removed this month across the country, many immunocompromised people will continue to mask in public. One Quebec father has created a way for them to do so, hopefully without judgment, and it's all because of his late daughter.
Émilie Sans-Façon was battling stage 4 colon cancer during the pandemic when she turned to her father with an idea.
We met a guy without a mask, so she told me, Dad, that guy, he doesn't know that I'm fighting for my life, for my health.
The 31-year-old asked her dad to create a pin to identify immunocompromised people. They came up with the concept together, but Émilie never got to see the final version. A year and a half after her death, her father is making her dream a reality.
Émilie is my inspiration, my motivation, and I made her a promise that I will go as far as I can with this project.
The immunoclip is a plastic clip that can be attached to masks with the red letter I. Sans-Façon says the pin lets people know the person wearing it is high risk and more precautions should be taken when near them.
They will understand that it's very important to keep the distance.
The Association of Immunodeficient Patients says the logo will be an awareness tool to prevent high-risk people from being judged for continuing to wear a mask after it becomes a personal choice.
It's a way to encourage Quebecers to be respectful for the immunosuppressed people. The immunosuppressed people must continue to wear the mask to stay alive.
When I heard about the pin, I bought one right away because I thought it was a good idea.
The immunocompromised Quebecer wears the logo on his mask whenever he leaves the house. He hopes the I will become a common symbol.
Many people ask questions, so I explain them what it means, what it is for, and they are glad to know.
The immunoclip can be bought on the Quebec City Shoe website for $6.50. Proceeds raised will create palliative care rooms in memory of Émilie.
She would be probably proud of where we are right now.
Olivia O'Malley, Global News, Montreal.
This really is a fantastic idea. I worry that there will be a lot of judgment toward people who continue to wear masks in public. I wore one going to the bathroom in a restaurant on St. Patrick's Day, and I felt like I was getting some sideways glances. I'm most likely not going to wear one any longer, but it should be to each their own, and the immunoclip will hopefully help avoid any confrontations. To Alberta now, where a 105,000 to 1 birth occurred on a family farm. Meet the triplet calves.
It's triple the trouble times 2 for Darren and Kelsey Vandervalk. The Southern Alberta ranching couple and their 3 kids got quite the surprise this week during a routine calving check.
There was a calf laying in the field and the mom had 1 foot coming out of her, so we decided to pull it quick, the twin, before we headed to town. And then when we were pulling it, I just made a joke that I should check for 1 more, and there was another one.
2 bull calves and 1 heifer make up this trio. All are doing well now, but mom does need some help wrangling and feeding her new herd.
3 calves for 1 cow would be overwhelming for sure. Some of them can raise 2 in certain circumstances. Yeah, 1 will definitely go on it, and we'll find mamas for the other ones.
The chances of seeing triplets in beef cattle is rare, especially for them all to survive.
I think the odds are 105,000 to 1 are the odds, and I penciled it out that I would have to calve for 466 more years for it to maybe happen again.
The Vandervalk farm has some good luck when it comes to calves, and not just because Kelsey is also a mixed animal veterinarian. If you can believe it, triplets were born on the farm before.
The owners of this place previous, his mom had in her diary that in 1959 they had a cow that had triplets here.
The birth order of the calves just so happens to line up the same as their kids, so picking names was an easy choice.
Their names match the middle names of the kids. Yeah, John, James, and Lynn.
Altogether, this threesome weighs in at a little more than 200 pounds, with calves ranging from roughly 55 to 75 pounds each. Quinn Campbell, Global News.
Well, that story sent me down a birth rate rabbit hole. Did you know the chances of having human triplets are about 10,000 to 1? I did not think the prevalence of human triplets would be greater than calf triplets. Well, you learn something new every week on the Cross Canada Spotlight. To the East Coast now, where Maritime's Harry Potter fans are lucky enough to have an immersive Potter world to experience firsthand.
For the past several days, seniors and children alike have walked through this Harry Potter display in Bridgewater in awe. Some dressed as their favorite characters.
Everyone is thrilled to be here and they feel carried away by the stories. It's been amazing.
3 parent volunteers from Bayview Elementary School took 2 years collecting and building. Most of the display has been assembled with cardboard.
I think it's really amazing. I didn't think, I knew it was going to be good, but there's so much detail.
It feels like I'm in a real, Harry Potter movie. I'm, actually in the moment.
Since opening on Wednesday, over 1,500 people have made their way into this wizarding world. Die-hard Harry Potter fan Trevor Carson and his family drove all the way from Sussex, New Brunswick to take in the experience.
There's a Harry Potter movie played at my house at least once a day.
He says before he was married, he and his wife used to watch the movies frequently. Now they watch them with their son.
It's just lasted through, so many generations, and it doesn't appear to be slowing down.
Wenzel met the other 2 parents who helped make the magic happen just before the pandemic. Bubbling together and working side by side for years, the 3 are now lifelong friends and have been overwhelmed by the success of the fundraiser.
This sort of reaction with this enthusiasm and energy and excitement, it just, after 2 years of a pandemic, it brings a lot of energy to our school and our kids and us.
Principal of Bayview Elementary School says he is grateful to the parent group who made this all happen.
Words can't express the gratitude that we have for them, and I don't even think students will really understand the amazing effort and time that has been committed.
Due to the success, the event will continue for the next 3 Saturdays. Amber Friday, Global News, Bridgewater.
I'll be honest, I have never read a Harry Potter book or seen one of the movies. It's never really been my thing, but I know fans are very passionate about it, as we saw there. Maybe that'll change for me once my daughter is old enough to read the books. Now, when you think about relaxation or a spa day, does a shipping barge come to mind? It might if you're thinking of a trip to Victoria B.C. in the next couple of years.
From the end of this dock, pretty much down to that electrical box down there.
It's probably the most coveted piece of waterfront property in the city. The only problem, it's basically a parking lot.
This spot on this particular part of the wharf has always been very transient.
But a new idea being floated could soon change all that.
Small barge.
Sounds like a fun way to enjoy the afternoon.
Haven Experiences is hoping to build a floating sauna barge at Ship Point in Victoria's Inner Harbour. The proposed space, roughly the size of a small ship, will include 4 saunas, both hot and freshwater cold pools, along with indoor and outdoor spaces to relax, socialize, and host events.
And it's going to be something that a lot of people see the value in as a place that people can come and just enjoy the waterfront and connect with the harbor in a more meaningful way.
The original plan was to also have patrons swimming in the harbor itself, but it was deemed too dangerous among float planes and vessel traffic. And so instead, they'll be bringing the ocean on board.
That's going to be filtered, and the idea is that when you come out of a sauna, you can get in the salt pool, you're looking right at the harbor, you can get the sensation that you're interacting with the ocean.
The idea has been hugely successful elsewhere. Helsinki, Oslo, even Montreal has a similar setup, driving tourism year-round.
This is quite interesting. It looks pretty cool. I think there should be a market for it, and hopefully it adds to the vibrancy of the waterfront.
Unlike some other barges we know, there's never been much love for the English Bay barge.
It's ugly.
And of course, there's Mick Barge. It had its heyday 35 years ago, but has been sitting idle ever since.
It's going to be long and narrow.
And while not everyone may be on board with this idea,
ooh, it's human underwear soup.
There will be public consultation. And if the City of Victoria approves the zoning, the project is expected to be up and running this time next year. Kylie Stanton, Global News, Victoria.
I love a good spa day, especially the hot and cold plunge. I'm actually going to one tomorrow, but I'm too competitive. I end up silently challenging anyone who is in the cold pool at the same time as me to see who can stay in the longest. Last up this week, some tech students are using their mobile phones to help give real-life downtown Calgary a bit of a boost.
Should be near here.
Out showing us something brand new they've developed. A game called Rabbit Hole.
Very Alice in Wonderland, kind of go down the rabbit hole, go down a new experience, new adventure, and see what you can find.
Alberta is my paradise. Nothing can beat those stars at night.
Now, this might remind you of something.
There's a Pokestop over here.
There's definitely similarities to Pokemon Go as you go into checkpoint to checkpoint.
But the student developers are bringing a whole new dimension to this game.
It might be over here.
Giving it a very local feel.
I'm from Toronto, and I felt like Calgary was a really cool place. Yeah, I wanted to learn more about it, and I came up with this app idea where people can go to different locations and just learn about all the different history.
We start you off at the Calgary Tower, then we bring you to Olympic Plaza.
The connectivity and the GPS and everything is working really good.
The tech veteran coaching the students says they've got good timing with this project.
Due to the pandemic, the downtown core has become pretty quiet, and it's one of those things that families can do, groups of friends can do.
We are further away, so we probably need to turn around.
To get people who don't ever spend any time here to come and check it out and figure out what it's like. And with that, that'll bring some vibrancy back.
For now, it's a school project, not widely available.
Oh, look at that.
But they're hoping that if they can get it out there as an app, there'd be a pretty big appetite for it.
The thing is endless, right? Could be in any city, anywhere in the world.
And look who just might want to join them down the rabbit hole.
We get really excited when we see rabbits now.
Gil Tucker, Global News.
I never got into the Pokemon Go craze, or the original Pokemon craze for that matter, but I do like this application for people to learn more about different cities, and it would be a fun educational tool for parents and their kids. That's it for the Cross Canada Spotlight. Be sure to watch Global News Weekend Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. on the Global TV app and Prime Video.